Tonight with us His Holiness Swami Guru Devanand Saraswati Ji Maharaj, and he's talking on the theme that the personality, integration of the personality. His Holiness, usually the problem is geared to be developed or solved in terms of in a general aspect. And what is the approach of the yoga philosophy?
Now, as we are getting down to the personality, you see, until we do not know how to transform or change or purify that personality, we cannot get in touch directly with the soul. Now, from the standpoint of the yoga philosophy, the soul is purity itself. It is omnipotent, it is omnipresent, it is unlimited, it is infinite, it is absolute in values. So the soul is pure by its nature. So we don't have to worry about purifying the soul, but what we have to be worried about is purifying the body, the senses, the mind, the intellect, our personality. Why? Because this is the instrument through which that wisdom of the soul can manifest. So if that instrument is not clear or clean or pure, it is only natural that the wisdom of the soul cannot manifest. So our first and foremost effort is to bring about that purification of this physical body that we have, which is so important to each and every one of us. And if we continue the discipline laid out before, you would be surprised in a matter of 2 weeks how you begin to improve in your health as well as a stronger and a clearer mind. So we need the energy of the soul. We need the light of the soul, and we need the wisdom of the soul. But in order for those beautiful and wonderful qualities to manifest, our physical body, which is an instrument of the soul, should be in a very good integrated order. And if that is not integrated in a very systematic and integrated form, then these qualities is not going to manifest, and you only have yourself to be blamed. So start making the effort of doing something to purify this beautiful instrument, which happens to be our physical body, so that when the instrument is clear and clean, that light and wisdom of the soul will manifest in all its force, in all its beauty. Then we begin to live the life of love, understanding, of harmony, which is so essential for each and every one of us in our life. Now, during your process of activities, sometimes you do not have a clear mind, and you might have a lot of psychosomatic disorders. Psychosomatic disorders means problem of the mind. You see. And this is very, very toxic to your system. Psychosomatic disorders very often leads to violence and committing things that you don't like, and sometimes ending up in suicide. Now, when many people begin to have stress and psychosomatic problems, finally they end up in the madhouse if the necessary type of care and attention is not taken. So the government has institutions to help you, but why wait to get into these problems in order to look for help? You should start looking for help when the going is good. And we are recommending that you should make that step to call. In order, we can teach you the technique of strengthening the mind. Strengthening the mind, when you know the technique, is very simple. When you don't know it, is very difficult. So we will teach you how to conserve mental energy. Now, without energy, the body cannot function, the senses cannot function, the mind cannot function, the intellect cannot function, neither the personality function. So we must be very careful, and we must be aware of what we eat, to get what we eat and drink, to get that sufficient energy so that the body is going to function. Now, those people who feel very weak and very tired, it means that they are not getting enough energy. This is why, without having sufficient energy, the body cannot function as it should, and a general overall weakness and tiredness is going to be the result. So you must need to know what can be done to conserve that energy in order to maintain the body active, in order to maintain the senses alert, in order to maintain the mind clear and not sluggish, as well as maintain the intellect sharp. Because when the intellect is dull, no success in whatever you want to do, whether you are working, studying, or vacationing. You would not even be successful in having a good vacation. So you see how it is very important to get into the techniques that we are teaching so that you can start to improve your life by improving your family, by improving our society, so that we all would enjoy that environment which would be so conducive. Now, you know fully well, you know better than I do, that the environment in the city of New York is not an easy one. It is so tense. It is so difficult. In certain areas, sometimes we are afraid to go. We are even afraid to travel at certain hours. And all this is due to our negative frame of mind. So we would also like to tell you, to give you another little advice. Let your mind be positive. Do not think negative things, or do not wish negative things for anyone, not even yourself, not even your family or relatives, and not even your friends. Visitors that come through this beautiful city throughout the year, and let them have a very good impression of this city, the inhabitants of this city, which you play a very important part and a very important role to improve this environment. So we can all participate in doing something very positive. But there are certain things which has its limitation to give us a certain amount of limited benefits. And sometimes we are not happy with this type of limited peace or happiness or harmony. We want the whole thing, right? We want to be fully well integrated. We want to be in harmony 24 hours a day. We want to be in peace 24 hours a day. Why settle for 10 or 15 minutes or an hour when we have 24 full hours to enjoy? And this is why we want to help you to enjoy your life to the fullest, so that this city of ours would transform its environment for each and every one of us to enjoy without fear, without tensions, without worries, to walk the streets at whatever time we would like. So don't forget, you have to make the effort. Sometimes, by making this effort, you must sacrifice sometimes. Make that sacrifice, because you would be surprised how you will enjoy that change of environment, which is so important for our society. And by making that effort, we should also make an extra effort to clean up the rubbish, not only in our home, but around, so that we would have a cleaner environment, which means less ants, less cockroaches, less rats that run around that you can't control. So we would be using less sprays. Now, do you know fully well that these sprays have certain chemicals which interfere with the ozone layer in the world in which we live, the atmosphere in which we live? And if this layer begins to be reduced, then it means that certain rays that from the sun, which is filtered, it will come in its full force, and that will be more type of diseases. So if we all make the effort to clean up, we would have to use less chemicals, less spraying. So the very air and the environment will be purer, which would be so beneficial to your good health, which is so important for you to carry out your activities in its fullness. And don't forget, every Sunday at 10 in the morning, we have what we call a love offering. Now, this is such a beautiful and simple ceremony. You are welcome to assist. There is no contribution. We don't charge anything. It is free. But you must bring along some fresh fruits and flowers to offer. And spend at least an hour in an environment which is so full of harmony and love and care. And we hope that you should take some of these good qualities with you to change your life to be one of a positive nature for the benefit of all of us. So I would like to say good night to all you wonderful people out there. Why? Because we want to become an integrated family. So spread the word, spread the news, spread that peace and harmony, which is so beneficial to all of you. So I would wish you all good night and a pleasant evening.
Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma